Hi, Happy New Year. I'm Toni Denise and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about two things. One is homesickness that I've experienced, as well as how I'm working through that and suggestions on how you can work through having the life that you want to have. So stick around. Let's go. Hi, I'm Toni Denise and welcome to Rise Up and Bloom 2022. Thanks so much for stopping by. Before I forget, because I usually forget, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe this video to any of your aunties, your sisters, your cousins, basically anybody that you think would enjoy the content that I have. Specifically for women that are in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, and that want to still live. Okay? All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me. If this is your first time here, I really appreciate your support. If you're coming back for another year of some great content, I appreciate your support. Well, I want to talk to you about two things today. One thing is I'm going to get kind of personal, except I kind of think I'm always personal. That's kind of who I am. But I was going to share some things. And then after I share these things, I am going to give you some, what I like to call, some New Year's nuggets. And, just share some things that are helping me start the new year. And generally, when I think something helps me, I think it'll help you too. So, all right. Well, the first thing I want to talk to you about is a subject that I don't hear people talking about. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't hear expats talking about it that much. And that is getting lonely sometime and then homesick. And I just want to tell you, the last probably 2 months since the holidays started, yeah, your girl's been homesick a lot. And I could have went home. However, you guys know with all the pandemic stuff and the Omicron and just all that going on, coupled with the fact that I needed to renew my passport. And then Mexico has thrown another big thing into the mix of they've changed their immigration status. Or not. Did I say that right? Well, they've changed their requirements for immigration, and I didn't want to take the chance of going home for the holidays and not being able to come back because, y'all, I have like a contract, a lease, and yeah. So I didn't want to risk that. But things are all well now, and I'll tell you why. I got to stop leaning. So used to leaning in there. Anyways, so can you guys see that? Isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful flower. I don't know what kind it is, but this is Rise Up and Bloom, and I even have the flowers on my rooftop doing that. So how cool is that? All right, I'm digressing. I don't know. I think that's cool that I got a flower that's blooming and this channel's name, Rise Up and Bloom. Okay, anyways, let me get back to the serious stuff. Yeah, I've been homesick. I have a son in Virginia Beach and my grandbaby there. And I have 2 grandchildren in California. I have a son in California and lots of nieces and brothers. And, I got a lot of hearts in California. And I have hearts in Maryland and Ohio too. So I got people all over the United States. And, I don't think that there's enough discussion about the real life stuff that happens when you're traveling or when you become an expat. And so that's what I want to take a few minutes today in the new year to talk about, because that's what I'm experiencing. So why not talk about it? But I've wanted to come home. And so, homesickness is real. It's real. I don't want you guys to think, or how about I say this? I think most people that do online content, we show everything that's good and everything that's right most of the time. But I wanted to have a discussion about how difficult it can be when you're thousands of miles away from everybody you love and everybody that loves you. And that's not taking anything away from the wonderful people and community that you have, that you meet when you're traveling abroad, or that you have in the community. Because I have a wonder group of sisterhood here. But yeah, I have felt a little sad, and it's okay, because it's human. And anybody that tells you that they've never got homesick or never got lonely traveling on the road, I'm not gonna say they're telling a fib, but it's a human experience. So if you're human, chances are you might have experienced that. Nothing to be ashamed of. I know I'm not ashamed of it. It's something I'm really big on, expressing your needs and your wants and, what you're feeling. And so that's a little bit why I haven't been on camera, because, I haven't felt like saying rah, rah, I'm in Mexico, when I've kind of been like, I'm missing my family. I'm missing all that good Thanksgiving dinner that Sister Francine cooks. My sister-in-law cooks amazing. And, another year, second year where I haven't tasted her good cooking. Yeah, something as simple as food. I miss it. And, yeah, so I've just, I've been missing my family. And, it's caused me to do even more soul searching about my being here. I love being here, but I also still love the familiarity. And I think that's normal, because we get so used to for years, we've been in a familiar country, a familiar state, a familiar city, a familiar town, home, everything's familiar. And then, all of a sudden you're in a whole nother environment. And, I've been here over November, December, January, 13 months, 12, 13, 14, 15 months, sorry about that. 15 months, and in 15 months, I'm not going to replace what I've had for a whole lifetime. That's just not going to happen. I enjoy meeting new people and seeing new things, and I'm able to experience some of the things that I've wanted to experience, the culture, the food. But at the same time, there's still that side of me that, yearns for the familiar, plain and simple. If I could have an In-N-Out hamburger and some fries right now, life would be grand. Yes, real talk. Yeah, so, I just want those of you who are considering moving abroad, or considering taking an extended sabbatical, it's to just realize that, and I tell people this, but I don't know if people really hear it or understand it. These are my notes. You see, the wind is kind of taking them back. I don't know if people really get it, that life is going to be life, whether you're in Mexico, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in a big town, whether you're in a small town, whether you're with people sometimes, whether you're by yourself. Life is going to be life, and you will have those moments that are challenging, that are, you may not feel like waving a bandwagon, showing all these incredible things that you're doing, because you just don't feel like it. And I want you to be able to be free enough to share what your truth is, because this is my truth. And, I'm doing things to reconcile until I can go back to the States with my family, which I hope will be within the next month or two. And I'm back in the saddle, as I said, because I hadn't been putting any content up for a while. But I think, we all need to give each other the space to just be human. Can we do that? Because we don't, especially with social media, we're always on. We always got to be on. For YouTube, it's like the more you post, the more you get likes, the more people watch your videos, the more and more you get a chance to make more money. And that's all good. But sometimes we just need to stop and take a breath. And so I'm okay with having taken some time off. And I encourage you, maybe it's not YouTubing or maybe it's whatever you're doing, but don't let others pressure you into what they're doing or what you see everybody else doing. As they say, do you, boo. And here's one of the things. It's kind of, I guess, a good segue into leading me on to the nuggets that I wanted to share is always remember that you get to create the life that you want and have. You get to create that. And sometimes I think we allow other people or other things we thought, just thoughts that we have, we allow them to hijack our life, for lack of a better term. Or actually, I kind of like that. Well, I don't know if hijack, because you don't have a choice when somebody hijacks you. But, we care about people, and so we kind of let them have opinions and say. And so you look up and you're doing not quite what you wanted to do, but what everyone else thought you should be doing, or the narrative that you hear everybody talking. Don't do that. Listen to your heart, okay? Take some time out and listen to your own heart. But remember, you get to create your life. So don't let anyone else intercede on your life, on your happiness. And sometimes you've got to put in some boundaries in order to do that. Yes, you do. Okay, so yeah, that's this, I think, a good segue for me to, kind of share what has been going on with me to how I'm transitioning into the new year, or not transitioning, but just some things that are helping me get a hold of my homesickness and, look at things in perspective. And so with that, I'm going to read to you, I think I have like 5 or 6 nuggets here that I think will be helpful for you. And not just in dealing with homesickness, but just life, things that can help you. And the very first thing is, and I've also got a shout out to Valerie Harper. Yeah, I'm kind of borrowing some of these from Valerie. She's kind of like an ad hoc coach for me. So yeah, Val. Okay. So the first thing is you need to have a positive mindset, or we like to say preset your mind to the positive. For example, saying what you want something to be. And her example to me was when she was in the military. She was in a couple of tours and in the desert and stuff. And she said when she got to that place, she would say, I'm gonna have the best time of my life here. It's gonna be the best tour that I've ever had. She put that out there. She said that in the middle of the desert with possible war looming. But you know what? She made that come true. That she had the best time. She forged the best relationships. She had a ball in those places that, everybody else was like, couldn't wait to get out of, and it just was drudging the whole time there. But she preset it in her mind that this was going to be the best time. And so that's what I've started to do is I said this last year, and I said it again this year on my Instagram page, and I think maybe Facebook too. But I've already decided that 2022 is going to be amazing. I'm putting it out there. So I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. Set yourself up for positivity by saying what you want something to be. You want 2022 to be amazing. Say what you want to happen. I want to travel in 2022, or I want to retire in 2022, or I want to start a side hustle in 2022. Say what you want and believe like it's going to happen and act like it's going to happen. And I guarantee you that it will, because I know when I've put something out there that it's going to be. My battery's going down, so I'm probably going to have to come back. But yeah, put it out there. Say what it's going to be for you. This is going to be the best year, and really mean it. You know, because when you start thinking about that it's going to be the best year, you kind of do things to make it the best year, or to make it the best time, a place you've had, or this is going to be the best relationship I've ever had. You know, when you say that, you put yourself in a position to make it happen, because you know you said that. So it's like unconsciously you're doing the things that you need to make happen. Okay, so I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my nuggets, but we got to do a little recharging. Always check your battery before you start filming, because I think we'll run out, and I don't want to do that. All right, I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I hope you're still hanging with me. So I wanted to continue on with my nuggets, and the first one was having a positive mindset, putting out what you want to have, and it's kind of like a preset how you want your life to be, how you want the day to be, how you want where you're living to be. Preset positive mindset, that's what I call it. The next thing is, let me look at my notes. Think about how you would like your life to be, right? And here's a little assignment you can do to help you with that. So what I want you to do is, on a piece of paper, I want you to write down all the things that you like about your life right now, all the things that are working. One side of the paper, put all the things that you like. On the other side of the paper, or at the bottom, however you want to do it, is I want you to put all the things you don't like, okay? And there's going to be a gap. There's a gap in the middle of that. And that way, you'll be able to clearly see, you know, in front of you, you know, what's working, what's not working, and the gap in between, and how you can close that gap. So that's a really good way to, part of it will make you feel like, you know what, my life, you know, you're going to see things that you are doing right. You know, everything's not all bad. There are some things that are working. So looking at the things that are working, and then looking at the things that, you know, you're not really that pleased with, and how you can change those things, right? Because you want to close that gap. But that's a really good way to create the life that you want. You know, you got to look at what you have, what's working, what's not working, and then try to close that gap. That's the second thing that I think is a good place to look at the beginning of the year in, you know, trying to go forward. Okay? All right, moving on. Number 3, look at what brings you joy. And it doesn't have to be big things. It can be, you know, some of the smaller things that you can think of that you can do, and try to incorporate those things on a daily basis. Like sometimes I think we wait, we kind of hold up, we wait for joy, or we want to, you know, have this big trip, or have something that we're going to do, have something to look forward to. And it's great to have something to look forward to. That is something that keeps people happy. That's been documented. Have something to look forward to. But on a daily basis, what are some things that you can do that bring you joy? It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. It could be something as simple as buying yourself some flowers. Something that simple. Or, you know, treating yourself to your favorite, something you like to drink that's fruity. You know, there's these fruity drinks that they have here. I look forward to getting those about every other day. Non-alcoholic, but it's okay. I'm grown if it was alcoholic. Yeah, it's something that just kind of floats your boat on a small basis. Things that just really make you feel good. Maybe it's a cup of tea, you know, crawling up in bed with a cup of tea and a book, and just, you know, that's your zone. I'm a movie person, so, you know, if I can watch a really good film, like I'm real particular on types of films that I like. if I can watch a really good quality film, that just makes me feel good. And so think about those things that really make you feel good. They don't have to make feel good for anybody else, or do anything, or nobody else may get it, but it could just be something silly that you like to do that brings you some small joy. So think of those things to do. Okay? All right. Okay, and this next one, it kind of goes along with the one about making the list about things that you do like about your life and things that you don't like about your life. Ask yourself the question, have I done everything I can to make the side that has the list of everything that you want in your life? Have I done everything I could to make that happen? Have I done everything I could? Like if you want to go someplace, you might say, it's too expensive to travel there. Well, they have, you go with the tour group. They have all the different airlines, the direct airlines. They have all the different, like orbits and, all the booking.com ways that you can buy tickets or cheap tickets. There's a lot of different options, and a lot of time we get caught up into just the couple that we know of. So, maybe you need to call in a friend to help you brainstorm, but think about everything that you can do so that you can make the list of your wants or what you like bigger. Think of everything that you can do, because a lot of times we don't look at everything. We shut the door a lot. For example, there's a really nice hotel here called the Reef Hotel, and my friend stayed at it a few weeks ago, and she told me that it's really not as expensive as you think. Now, I would think that this resort is expensive, so I might not look into staying there, but when she shared how much it costs, it's very doable. But we can count ourselves out before we count ourselves in. So don't do that. Count yourself in and ask yourself, be honest, have I done everything I could to make the life that I want happen, or to start that process? I think it's a very good question, but you got to be real honest in answering yourself. And don't answer it from your from the box that you're in. Like, you tried the 3 things that you know. There's probably a 4th and a 5th thing. Maybe you don't have it, but maybe somebody else does. So it's kind of goes along with opening your mind up to find options to try and get what you want. And if you're one of those people, I'm just gonna say it because I love my sisters, but I know how we can be sometimes. As soon as somebody tells you a suggestion, you knock it down. You say, oh, I've tried that, or I haven't done that, or I've done it and it didn't work. You know what worked a few years ago might work now. The world is totally different now. You can't get stuck into what happened a few years ago. For example, I never thought I would move to Playa. It wasn't even on my radar, because I had come here in 2018 and the seaweed was so bad, and Fifth Avenue wasn't paved. It was all muddy, and I was like, it did nothing for me. So I never thought I would live here. But 2 years later, a friend moved here and said she thought I would love it. So I came down and took another look, and it's nothing like it was in 2018. Case in point. Things are different. It changed. I got closer to one of my goals, and that's living walking distance from the beach. All because I had an open mind this time around. Okay? All right. So that's that. And this is one I probably should have said it sooner, but I'm going to say it now, because it probably needed to be at the beginning of the list, but I'm going to say it now. And that is, all the things that I've shared, you really won't be able to do that until you decide what it is that you want. Just a minute. Yeah, I told you my throat was a little weird right now. But yeah, none of that works unless you decide what it is that you want. What do you want? And that's hard. It's not an easy question sometimes. Sometimes you got to weed through some things. Not what your kids want for you, not what your husband wants for you, not what your best friend, but what do you really want? Maybe you don't know that. That's why it's good to write out things so you can see it in front of you. What do you think you want? What were some things that brought you joy when you were younger or a child? You know, sometimes we as adults discover, really not discovering it's what's been covered up through life, things that we really want to do, right? That could be becoming a writer, that could be becoming doing some kind of artistic endeavor. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for all of us, but only you know that, and it's okay for you to dream, right? So all of the things that I've already said, it's difficult to go forward unless you know what kind of life it is that you want. Well, you know, what do you want? Because you can't create the life that you want if you don't know what it is. But yeah, the last thing I want to share is going forward in 2022 is don't let anybody else define your journey. Don't let anybody else define your journey. I kind of alluded to that earlier, but I'm really, really emphatic about that because I see so many people that do things because of what other people want them to do, or they think the other person wants them to do, or they don't have the guts to say no. So you end up doing something for somebody else, or living someplace that you didn't really want to live just because somebody else, you know, kind of encouraged you. Maybe that wasn't what you wanted to do. Whatever it is, you know what that is. But I just don't want you to let anybody else define your journey. I want you to realize that you have the power, you really do, to define your own journey. So I want you to remember that and do what you need to do to define your journeys. So I think that's it. Those are my New Year's nuggets, and it came on the heels of me sharing about having some homesickness here. So I hope that what I shared was helpful to you. I hope that you liked it and that you will share and subscribe to my channel. And as a reminder, I do coach. I do life coaching as well as expat coaching. Expat coaching, if you want to move abroad, move to Mexico specifically, I can help with that because I've done it. I've moved here and I've moved once I've gotten here. I think I have it figured out. You always learn something new though, but I can help you with that. Or even maybe you don't even want to move abroad. Maybe you just want some information about traveling. I can help you, and I also have friends that are travel coaches specifically that they can help as well. So you can reach out for that also. And then also maybe it has nothing to do with traveling. Maybe it has to do with just your next chapter in your life. And I have done that for years for many people. And just to help them, you know, get started on your next chapter, I can work out an individual plan for you. And so the information is down below in the description. So please, you know, reach out to me if you'd like. And I love smoothies. You can also buy me a smoothie if you like. And that's in the description below. So on that, I'd like to wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful 2022. And we're believing that this is going to be an amazing year. This is going to be an absolutely amazing year. Believe that with me. And so on that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope to see you on my next video soon. All right? Okay, take care. This is Toni Denise from Rise Up and Bloom. Rise Up and Bloom.